Hello, everybody. Welcome to this stream. I'm super excited today because, bless you, right on cue, I am joined by my brother Tony. Um, what a way to make an
Sorry,
entrance.
not actually. You're joined by Sneezy the dwarf.
Yeah, I'm joined by Sneezy the dwarf here. And I'm very excited because, as you can see on the screen here, Tony, we have him hooked up on his device so that he can actually draw out the Doctor Who villains and monsters that you all suggest live. I am so excited. We think we've got the tech for this working. Do you want to draw out hello?
I'll just
Draw someone a test,
I'll
let people
do a
know.
little test.
Hello to,
Test doctor.
oh, a little test doctor. I love it. I love it. Hello to John Fisher and Lucky Golden Rock Studios. John Fisher says hashtag wait for Julia. Applestone Productions, hello. Welcome to all of you.
All right, hold up a reference image.
Awesome. This is going to be so much fun. Oh my gosh. Tony is much better at drawing than I am, so this lucked out. Oh my gosh. Hello, oh my dinosaur, and Gary Contois and Alex. Hello, welcome. Alex says draw McCoy and Eccleston. No. Yeah, well, we're already going off book with a test. Oh no. You tricked me. It's the cat in the hat.
I did trick you.
You got me so good.
This is an awful little doodle. I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh. Well, that. It was a great little joke, so thank you. If you haven't seen today's video, it's an unboxing of a present that Gary Contois sent me, which is this lovely steelbook. I mean, look at that. That's just beautiful. I had a blast unboxing it, and it was such a lovely surprise this week. And yeah, if you haven't seen that video, definitely check it out. Um, I don't want it to get buried in all the Russell T Davies hype. We will get into that later. But for right now, I think we should start Tony on the first monster or villain. Looks like you started on something already. What's up?
Look, what's this? Steel book.
Oh, it's a steel book. Oh my gosh. The puns run in the family, folks. So I am super excited. All right. So the first thing that I want you to draw is for somebody who really wanted to make it but can't make it today, which is this is for Sharon, aka Firehawk, over on Instagram, who wanted to keep the hashtag Chumbly hype alive. What with Galaxy 4 recently being animated. So if you want to start in on that, we can get the chat suggestions for future
You say that
monsters.
like I know what that is.
You're gonna have to look up a reference image for that one.
You're gonna have to spell reference image for
Chumbly,
that one.
Chumbly, Chumblie, Chumbly, um, and they are indeed in the upcoming Galaxy 4 animation. I'm sure we'll also talk about
You
that.
get a lot of Chumley from Pawn Stars.
Hello to the K1 fan, welcome. Applestone Production says, yes, my favorite Dr. Seuss villain. Oh my gosh, yes.
This is a weird one. You want the colorized image
It can be either way. I figured black and white, but it can be anything. Oh, the K1 fan is can I suggest K1? Yes, hello to Sharon later watching the replay. So the Chumbly is already forming as we speak, but the way that we're going to pick out which monsters get drawn next is by spinning the wheel. So now we've already done Chumblies, but I'm going to enter in some options as people in the chat ask for them. So for the K1 fan, we're going to do the K1 robot. Going to throw that in there. The K1 fan. And if you have any suggestions that you'd like to see for a Doctor Who monster or villain in the chat, do please let us know. Right now we've got two options. Another viewer who couldn't make it because it's 5 a.m. currently in Australia was Luke1296, so who requested an Invasion Cyberman. So that's up for a possible being drawn today. So we'll just spin the wheel next. But Speaking of Evil of the Daleks, my steelbook has been dispatched in the morning. Alex says, congrats. That's going to be exciting. A lot of people are getting Evil of the Daleks right now, which is exciting. My goodness, what a time to be a Doctor Who fan. There's so much going on. We got so many animations. Russell D Davies coming back. I'm so excited for that. So excited for that. But by all means, please do suggest a monster or villain. Oh, I'm gonna get back to the drawing. We're gonna check in on that. Oh, it's taking form. I love it. Love it. Oh my gosh. I don't know if you saw my comment. Alex says, "Would you do the '60s Dalek Emperor?" Yes, from Evil of the Daleks. That's what he said. Speaking of Evil of the Daleks, yes, we can do that. All right, I'll add that to the wheel. So, Emperor Dalek, if I can spell, for Alex. That's 3 options now for the board, for the wheel to spin. Right now we get a Chumbly forming, very exciting. My suggestion would be the Monster of Peladon, John Fisher says. All right. Now let's see. It's been ages since I've watched the Monster of Peladon. So I'm just going to look up to see what that is because... Oh, you're talking Agador? It wasn't Alpha Centauri. That would be great to throw in. Alpha Centauri. I think it's Agador. Applestone Productions suggesting Coronation Street. Nope, that doesn't quite count. Doesn't quite count. Oh my gosh. Coronation Street, Doctor Who. It's a crossover for the ages. Oh my gosh, though. I'm loving this. I'm loving this. Yes, so, okay, so we're going to put Agador for John. All right. Currently a 1 in 4 chance your monster will be picked. Oh my gosh. This is gonna be great. It's gonna be great. I love because you've not seen Galaxy 4, but I'm excited. I think I'll show you all the animation when it comes out because right now we've never seen the episode at all. John says, if not, then how about Bob from Twin Peaks? There is a cover for Planet of Evil, Doctor Who target novelization, and it looks so much like Bob from Twin Peaks. It's uncanny. It's uncanny. Can you, Tony? Can you see this?
That looks just like Bob.
Doesn't it? I'm wondering if like the reference image was that actor or something. I don't know if the timing works out. Hello to Lewis Frisbee. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Lewis, if I'm not mistaken, did you have a birthday recently or is it coming up? I know it's September. My dad recently had a birthday. We celebrated, it was great. I made him a triple layer chocolate cake with peanut butter frosting. It was delicious. Oh, thank you, Alex. That'll be fun. Hair Crazy 123, welcome. Evening all, I've made it. I'm going to suggest a weeping angel. All right, well, we'll add you to the wheel. So Pear wants to see. This is great, by the way, Tony. I'm loving this so far.
It's kind of hard because it's just like a transparent globe.
Yeah, it like fits into itself and grows. It's interesting. So we're gonna put in what I just saw? What was Weeping Angel? All right, Weeping Angel for Hair Crazy 123. Lewis, what monster or villain would you like? Since it was Lewis's birthday recently, and also my dad's, and I'm sure some of you are having birthdays or had birthdays in September or October coming up. My birthday's in October. Let's just sing happy birthday to Lewis right now, and we'll have a blast. I hope that this should work, at least, because we're gonna do it. We're gonna all sing it as the live stream goes out. So, 3, 2, 1. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Lewis, and anyone with a birthday in September or October. Happy birthday to all of us. Yay! Hello! Awesome.
you
Congratulations.
didn't
I
leave-
added in new lyrics for everybody.
You didn't leave me to do the melody by myself.
No, I normally harmonize and leave you high and dry. Rick R. Hello says, let Zygons be Zygons. All right, we're putting in Zygons on the wheel for Rick, but we're also going to put, Zygons. That's how we do it. Oh, look who it is! Oh my gosh! Hey!
Hello!
It's a Julia! It's a wild Julia! Oh my gosh!
Hi, guys. Hi, folks.
Hey!
Oh, wow, so you got it. Oh, dang.
Look at this, look at this.
Fancy.
Oh, this is amazing. Rick's watching.
Hi, Rick.
And Husian, welcome. Cyberman, what type of Cyberman? Husian, we'll add you to the wheel. Alex says, my mom's birthday was on the 18th. Well, happy birthday. And Lewis says, that was great. Aw, thank you, thank you. And it's funny how my birthday is 2 days after Alex's. Pair says, well, that's awesome. Love an October birthday. Oh, my dinosaurs is what's been going on. I've been off fixing a shelf and missed the explanation. We sang happy birthday to everybody. But Julia's here. Hi, Julia.
Hello.
Hiya. The trio is assembled for the first time live. All the triplets are here. There's proof we all exist. Julia.
Hi. Okay.
What do you think of Tony's Chumbly?
I didn't know what it was.
You didn't
I thought it was a
know.
mushroom.
It's good. Take my word for it. It's not a mushroom. It looks great.
You should add to, or you're taking suggestions?
Yes.
What was that episode we watched recently with the big mushroom things that, like, ate people, like anemone things that tried to eat the TARDIS and,
Oh, the chase?
maybe?
With,
It was
yeah,
like black
yeah.
and white with Ian and the Doctor.
Yes,
And
yes.
Barbara and whatever.
They were mushroom-like trees that tried to eat
Yeah, exactly.
the TARDIS.
Yeah.
I
think that'd be interesting.
And then, let's see, there were a couple other suggestions. There was a special weapons Dalek for Lewis. Husian wanted a Cyberman. If we don't get a specific one, we will pick one ourselves. All right.
Have fun, folks.
Hey, thanks for stopping by.
Enjoy.
Yes,
Have
so
fun
my dinosaur,
flying.
please make some suggestions. Say goodbye to Julia. Bye.
Hello.
Thank you for stopping by.
Have fun.
Thank you. We will. Oh my gosh, this is great. Oh, I need to. Oh, I'm just seeing the preview. Okay, cool. This is great. No, that's okay. Tony's using a program that allows me to also see it and live stream it. But it's not the one that you're most familiar with. But I appreciate you flexing. It's flipped. Oh. Why does Chumbly sound like a desert? Oh, sound like a dessert. That makes more sense. It kind of does, yeah. Oh my gosh. I love that Chumbly, the K1 fan says. Hashtag Chumbly hype. Love it.
Okay, guess the drawing's flipped now.
The drawing's flipped now. Oh, that would be really confusing to have to draw, and when you go right, it goes left. Oh my dinosaur says, has anyone suggested Davros yet? I like Davros. No kidding. Well, with all the copies of Genesis that you have, I'm not surprised. All right, we'll put in Davros, who has not yet been suggested. I was hoping you'd suggest Davros. John says, that's awesome. Pear Crazy 123 says, what did you all think of yesterday's news? Absolutely wonderful. unexpected and insane, and I'm just so excited. I gotta say, I'm super excited for this. I cannot wait. The 60th is gonna be amazing. I mean, I cannot wait for Series 13, for the 2022 specials, then the 60th, and then Series 14, which I hope would come out before the 60th, because I don't want to wait all year with no Doctor Who until the 60th in 2023, but that might happen. Um, oh, awesome. Well, thank you, Alex. I will catch up on my Twitter DMs. Obviously, people have been going crazy. I think the thing I've enjoyed most as a result of this news is all of the memes that have come out of this, the Russell T Davies returning. I even made a couple of my own, which I'll share with you as Tony's Chumbly comes to life more. I actually made one that got like 67 likes, which I was pretty happy with. It's not like the K1 fans whose brilliant meme got like 300 something tweets, likes. That was impressive. All right, so I'm gonna just Tony. That's looking awesome. That's looking great. I love the little hair on top. That's so cool. Uh, these are the tweets. There's the 2005 RTD era and the 2023 RTD era, and there's the two Spider-Mans pointing at each other, which I thought was funny, and I'm glad other people did as well. I also did this one for how it feels waiting for Series 13, then the 2022 specials, and the 60th, and Series 14 and beyond, which is fun. I love Mr. Bean. Then we have the Hulk meme where he's giving a taco to Ant-Man, but that was fun. And of course, I had to do a Star Trek one for Julia. And then I don't actually know who this turtle is from, but I thought it worked well as a meme. So there you go. Let's check back in.
From the franchise.
Oh, it's from the Panda franchise. Kung Fu Panda. Okay. Lewis says, I like the R2D2 meme. Oh, I haven't seen that one. Hello, Benjamin James Miller. Do Big Finish Cybermen design. Which one are you talking about? The Ninth Doctor ones or like which other ones? I'd love to know because we do need specifics for Tony because we have two Cybermen on the board already. Let's see. Yes, Alex, both Russell T Davies and Julie Gardner are back. That is going to be so exciting. And I mean, that's also like obviously we're all talking about Russell, but the fact that Julie Gardner is back is also incredibly amazing. We'll put Big Finish Cyberman design for Benjamin. If we don't hear back with a specific one, we will just pick a design for Benjamin. Hello, hello, hello. All right, so how we doing on the chum? Oh, we're getting color or grayscale. I love it. I love it. Who's books? Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So glad you made it. Comment with a monster or villain you would like to see. You can see some of the ones that have already been picked on the wheel, and we will spin to see who goes next. Amazon Production says, oh, those new Edge of Reality Cybermen look awesome. Also, that game has been delayed. Oh, I'm sorry to hear about that. I haven't kept up with the video game news, really. I wonder who the 14th Doctor is. I'm guessing it could be Ollie Alexander. He would be a great Doctor, whose book says. I have absolutely no clue, but I'm excited. I really am. I really can't wait. Is it the new Ninth Doctor Lost Warriors Big Finish Cybermen? That would be great. That's what I'm going to choose, unless Ben says otherwise. If the wheel lands on the Cybermen, I'm
gonna call this.
Hey, I love it. I love it. Why am I seeing that? Oh, hello. This is. There we go. Oh, it's because the window is half size. Hold on. There we go. All right, that looks better. Hey, all right. So loving that. That looks awesome. We're gonna spin the wheel next to see whose choice will get picked. What Tony will be drawing next. All right, let's go. Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Who will it be? Oh, oh! Oh, all right. Well done, Rick. You are drawing a Zygon.
I was kind of hoping to draw a Zygon.
Tony says he was kind of hoping to draw a Zygon. That's awesome. We'll take that off the wheel. It was almost Weeping Angels for Pair Crazy 123, but now we have a Chumbly and a Zygon on the board. That's going to be awesome. But Terror of the Zygons is one of my personal favorite episodes of all time. I absolutely love it. I have the Zygons be Zygons shirt. Um, and I just think the Terror of the Zygons is it's a really great episode. I love just how it all came together. The scenes that they filmed on film, the location shots were great. I just love it from start to finish. And that artwork is one of the best of the DVD range. It's absolutely incredible. Rick says, woo! All right. Tony's getting a Zygon reference image. John Fisher says, I would love to see Matt Smith come back as the 14th Doctor. If showrunners can come back, then doctors should totally come back. Alex says, also, we were spoiled yesterday because we got not only RTD's return, but also the Ninth Doctor Lost Warrior covers revealed and more. That was great. Poor timing because that kind of got overshadowed by the RTD, news, but those are some great covers. Lewis saying, I love Terror of the Zygons. Awesome. I'm getting Wheel of Content flashbacks. Lol. Fair Crazy 123 says that's a good show right there. Definitely a good show. The Zygons are great monsters for Doctor Who. I really hope Russell brings them back in series 14. Whose book says, I know. You know what I was thinking? What monster I was thinking should come back? And actually, we should throw me in on the board. I want to see a Draconian. Alex. All right. I want to see Draconians. They were John Pertwee's favorite Doctor Who monster, and that design was really ahead of its time. Stood out a lot. Terror of the Zygons obviously had incredible costume, prosthetics design, and the just one of the things that they did so well was trying to disguise the fact that it wasn't just a man in a rubber costume, and that what helped was making the head larger and also making like no neck so that it looked different from just a human in a suit. And I think they did a great job with that. Tom Webster smashed it out of the park again with the covers. They look beautiful. And the Ninth Doctor versus Cybermen. Also, we're getting the Ninth Doctor and the Brigadier as well, which is super exciting. I really want Draconians. My second choice was a Draconian. Lewis says, nice, nice. I love it. I'm interested to see Opposite Production says if RTD brings back more classic villains in modern form. He always he's always done that really well, in my opinion. He absolutely did. I mean, he brought back the Centaurans, the Daleks, and the Cybermen, and had the Daleks and the Cybermen meet for the first time. The Macra, whose book said should come back because they were in the second Doctor story, the Macra and Gridlock, that was written by Russell. Who else did he bring back? Davros, obviously, and just pulled it off really well, I thought. And obviously Zygons, they were brought back by Moffat, but I think that really Sea Devils, I'd like to see Draconians. I think I'm just in a Third Doctor mood lately. I've been listening to the Target novelizations on audiobook and absolutely love them. I've really enjoyed the Mind of Evil and the Claws of Axos, narrated by Richard Franklin, and now I'm listening to Colony in Space, and those are the Third Doctor ones I've been listening to. But I'm loving already the color choice on the Zygon.
It's a bit arbitrary. Just gonna draw over it,
Mm-hmm. Right.
sometimes I just like the sketch to match the vibe.
Do you want to put a suggestion on the wheel?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. All right.
I think it's something that I really want to
I mean, you've got the power at this point. You could just draw it.
draw. Yeah.
The hashtag Find the Doctor is now officially over. Some Whovians on Discord skipped to the end, got into the source code of the website, and found out the password, which is hilarious. But that kind of I only found out about that probably in the past week or so, like the past 2 weeks of Find the Doctor. I noticed the letters in the newsletter and I thought maybe it's an anagram of something. Couldn't figure it out because obviously it wasn't. It was just a random thing of text and stuff, but definitely suggest it. Ooh, Marcor Sculpin is here and suggests Mavellans. All right, well, we'll throw the Mavellans in on the wheel for Mark. All right. We've got a Chumbly and a Zygon. This is going to look so cool. I mean, I can't imagine what the 60th is going to be like. Alex says, we can still a City of Death, Rose, and Dalek to read, plus Scratchman, Human Nature, Stars, Star Tales, Nat Childhood's End. How do you get past so many audiobooks all? Well, that's a good question. I listen to them when I'm doing dishes mostly, and just chores and stuff. But what I was talking with Dad, and it's a very niche thing to be into target novelization audiobooks because A, you could just watch the episode, which obviously I have on VHS, on DVD, half of them on Blu-ray. You could just watch the episode, but instead you're choosing to first off read the target novelization, which is fair. They expand upon things. It's a very cool thing to read a target novelization. A lot of times they can make a story better or flesh it out more or make it worse on occasion. But you're not only listening to the novelization, but you're listening to an audiobook reading of the novelization, and oftentimes the novelization is around 5 hours, so it's longer. You could actually watch the episode in less time, but because it's an audiobook, I can enjoy Doctor Who doing something that I otherwise couldn't read or watch Doctor Who doing, like doing the dishes or taking a walk or something. I suppose you can read or walk, but you don't really want to be doing that crossing the street. So yeah, I really love it. I love it. It helps me, it helps pass the time. And I highly recommend on Amazon, they have these download only bundles of 5 target novelizations. And you can get them for a credit, which is $15 a month. And I like doing it that way because you get 25 hours of content for like $15, which is a lot, and I've really enjoyed it. I've listened to the first Master Collection, the second Monsters Collection, and now I'm on the first Master Collection, which is very exciting. I listened to on the second Master Collection there was the Mind of Evil and the Claws of Axos. There was the King's Demons, which I didn't like as much. It was very, very long. But Mark Strickson did a great job, and actually, Mark Strickson does an amazing Fifth Doctor impression, by the way. And then there was the Five Doctors, which I enjoyed very much, and also Survival. And now I'm on to Colony in Space, or the Doomsday Weapon, as it's called in the novelization. Love it. Zygon is coming to life. Star Tales is a book I wanted to get into. If Boba Ten was here, Lewis says, I think we all know what he would suggest, which is where I think the K1 fan really stepped up and suggested having the K1 robot in there. So I think that's really what Boba would have suggested. And I hope if the wheel lands on the K1 robot. Whose book says, also, I didn't know that Peter Purvis played 2 characters in the chase, the American guy, and also he played the companion Steven. He did such a funny job in that. We recently watched The Chase. It was part of the Doctor Who, our own Doctor Who Guide birthday celebrations. We watched 3 episodes and 3 episodes on 2 different nights, and it was really fun. It's a wild ride, that story is. My dinosaur says, I wouldn't have thought the King's Demons would be so long since it's only 2 parts in TV form. Right? You think that. But the target novelization of the King's Demons is actually 10 pages longer, being a 2-episode story, than the novelization for the War Games, which is 10 episodes long. Think about that for a second. They expand so much on each of the characters, like the world building. It feels like the Doctor and the TARDIS don't show up until like half an hour into it. It's like 4 or 5 hours. It's well done if you're there for a historical story, but there wasn't enough Doctor Who in it for me, and most of the characters for for that audio just seem like they don't want to be there, or they're in situations where they don't want to be there, and so you're kind of feel also like you don't want to be there. I don't know. I enjoyed the Mind of Evil and Clouds of Axos very very much. I wish they'd have had Richard Franklin do all of the unit stories, because I think as a narrator he does such a good job. Obviously does an incredible Mike Yates because he played him in the show, but also I think um, does a pretty good Brigadier and Third Doctor. But he's just an excellent narrator as well. Imagine for the 60th, whose book says that Series 4 and Series 14 that Murray Gold comes back to do the music again. That would be amazing. I don't know what Murray Gold is up to, but I think that would be absolutely incredible. Hey, do you guys want to see a preview of an unboxing that's coming up on the channel, considering that we are talking about Doctor Who books?
I mean, not particularly.
Tony says no. Tony says no, but the Zygon is coming along nicely. Do you remember the Zygons?
Me?
Yes.
Yes, of course.
I mean, like Terror of the Zygons.
I remember many a Zygon
Oh ho ho. Yeah, they're. I love them. I love them. I'm not into the audiobooks. Whose book says I just listen to Big Finish on the television soundtracks. Well, that's great too. It's great too. Can't argue with that. Yes, show us. Lewis Ribsey says, okay, well, I got from Zavi it was like $27, and it was a 10 book mystery bundle where they said that graphic novels were part of it, but I knew based off the description and some of the reviews that there aren't any graphic novels in it, at least yet. They're getting rid of stock, and so they send you 10 new books for $27. So that's $2.70 each, and none of the books listed were ones that I had. So I was like, I can't lose out on this. I'm not going to get any duplicates. So I'm going to show you what I got. First off is Doctor Who, Night of the Kraken, and this is a 12th Doctor choose your own destiny story. And I've never had a choose your future Doctor Who book, which is very exciting. I mean, you get to the end of a page and it'll tell you either go to another page, or if you make this decision, go to another page, whatever. So that was cool. I mean, originally $10, so for $2.50, can't say no to that. Loved that. I'm gonna put these. Gotta make room for these books. Then I got Doctor Who Heart of Stone. This was a series of about 11 books, paperback books, that came out, and I never really got them before. This was originally $10, so again, only $2.70. And this is Heart of Stone by Trevor Baxendale, and I think I've enjoyed his writing before. That's an 11th Doctor novel, as is, I believe, The Water Thief. I think these are all 11th Doctor ones. And this has the money from the Orient Express on the cover. So either they used that monster as just a generic image for the artwork, or it came back. But that's so cool. The Water Thief, by Jacqueline Rayner. And we have Doctor Who Terminal of Despair. Again, never read this. Steve Lyons wrote this one. So very excited to have those in the collection. There's also Doctor Who Heroes and Monsters, the short stories collection. Something like 32 in here. And that was about $10, originally £7. So very happy to have that. In the Blood by Jenny T. Colgan, a 10th Doctor novel, which I'm very excited for. It's got Donna as well. And I absolutely was really excited to get this one. It's one I've been meaning to get for a while. 335 pages. Doesn't quite say the original price. Oh no, it does. $11. So that was cool. We have a Zygon. Loving that. Frobisher equals Penguin. Mark says that's awesome. And I also have the official Doctionary, which I said dictionary for most of the video and then realized it's Doctionary. Originally $15, and has, sort of a guide to Doctor Who monsters, people, places, things, which is cool. We also have the American Adventures hardcover. This was originally $15, and it's a collection of short stories with the 12th Doctor in America, which is obviously, I mean, I never thought a book like this would have been released in the UK, but I'm excited for that. K1 fan says, I love the 10th Doctor and Donna. Absolutely. I'm so excited. One of the ones I was most excited to get was The Pirate Planet. This is a novelization of the story by Douglas Adams, and it was novelized by James Goss. I love the Shada and City of Death novelization, so I'm sure I'm going to love this one as well. For $2.50, I mean, this was originally, couldn't have been cheap. Yeah, $20. So very, very happy with that. And of course, the Doctor Who 2020 annual. So you're getting spoilers for a future video, but I wanted to treat you guys for watching the live stream and also being here live, which works out because I have the 2018 and 2019 annual, not the 2020. My only complaint with this Zavi book lot is that there was absolutely no padding. The only padding was actually the paperback books. So these, I don't know if you can see that in the light, but it's got a little bit dinged up here, but other than not having any padding and the fact that the only other person who I've seen get this lot got the exact same books as I did, so I don't think there's much mystery to it, but I hope that helps. Oh, we've got the Zygon coming to life. You're going to love the 12th Doctor in America. It's great. Lewis says, yeah, if you read any of these, please do let me know what your thoughts were on them, because I'm excited. I've read none of these, and I've been meaning to get um, a couple of them. I wanted to get all of them, but I think it's really cool. Whose book says in 2023, I really hope that Marco Polo will get animated. Yes, we need a season one Blu-ray collection box set for the 60th anniversary. Please, even if it's just a reconstruction of Marco Polo that has enough space where you can chuck in a Blu-ray disc afterwards, like I don't know, leave enough room so that when you do a Blu-ray animation, we can chuck in the two discs instead or release them separately. I don't know. But like it just needs to happen in the 60th anniversary year. How you couldn't have any better hype for that, I don't think. The K1 fan says that Zygon looks amazing. I would agree. So Tony, you know how I did you may not a video predicting what the next Doctor Who animations would be.
Okay.
My first guess was, well, let's just put it this way: the next animation that was announced right after that was Galaxy 4, and obviously it's coming out this year. Um, so, and I had guessed that it would come out, I think, in 2024. So my first guess was incorrect, but it's okay. I hope they will follow my plan to the T. Otherwise, no.
Only a wee bit off.
Only a little bit, only a couple of years out. Axos Claw says Hartnell just needs more animations. Absolutely. And the fact that they've done Galaxy 4, which just opens the door for so many other animations, which is so exciting because we haven't had a Hartnell animation since 2013. It's been almost 8 years. And the fact that they also started out with Galaxy 4, which is probably one of the least popular missing Hartnell stories, is really encouraging because it shows that they're
Really out of touch with what the audience wants.
they're really out of touch with what the audience wants, is what Tony says. Well, yes and no. I mean, it shows to me that they are willing to do animations for all of the stories rather than just the most popular ones that will sell. Either that, or they were testing out this company with this style of animation with a not so great episode, so that if it was a flop, it wasn't like I don't quite know. I wish I knew more of their reasoning, but it's cool. Alex says, "Do you have any tips for reading books? I really want to read them, but I'm so slow and lazy." Lol. I am a slow reader. I read about one page a minute, if not longer. And so I totally feel your pain. Um, One thing that I try and remember is to just have fun with it and not be hard on yourself for not getting a lot of reading done. Um, my goal for this year was to read 10 pages a day, but and while getting into that habit can certainly be helpful, I kind of read when I have the time and when I enjoy it. It does take a little bit of time for me to get into a book, even if it's a Doctor Who book that I almost always enjoy. It'll take me a little while. So let's get back to that in a second, though, because my brother reads a lot, and I want to hear your tips on that question. Lewis says, I'm a slow reader too. we're just not fast readers yet, is how I like to look at it. But Tony, should we? That Zygon's looking great. Should we spin the wheel to find out what monster's next?
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, I'm loving this. I'm loving this. I love it. I love his expression too. He's like, "Yep, I'm here. I'm here." Oh my gosh. Okay, so we're gonna spin the wheel. Da, 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 da. Let's see who's next. All right. All right. Oh, oh, oh. It's Davros, as suggested by Oh My Dinosaur. Tony says fun. All right, so let's see. Let's get
I'll be done this
awesome. All right, so you'll be done that soon. Moving on to Davros. This is exciting. What a collection of monsters and villains. Um, see, so what I would suggest is, try and read, like, set your goal small. Like, I'm going to read one page, and you probably will want to read more than one page. And um, I think that just reading when you feel like it, and realize that it's okay to not be super into it. And I think for me, I get excited when I just start enjoying a story and want to keep reading it. So especially target novelizations are great because you make good progress in those quickly. But I mean, I really loved the City of Death novelization. And sometimes it's something you don't expect that you'll enjoy reading. The complete history novels, right up my alley. A lot of information. They're not everybody's cup of tea, but I absolutely adore those books. So yeah, I love it. So, oh, we have Louise. Hello to Louise. Can I suggest Scaroth from City of Death? You most absolutely can. That's only my favorite Doctor Who Tom Baker story, possibly my favorite classic series story of all time. So I'm so glad you suggested Scaroth, Last of the Jaggeroth from Louise. And there was another suggestion. I believe Benjamin James Miller says Lost Warrior Cyberman design is my suggestion. Awesome. I'm going to just make a note of that. Lost Warriors Cyberman. Oh, no, wait, that's the wrong Cyberman there. Yeah, Lost Stories. Lost Stories. Lost Warriors Cybermen. That's awesome. All right, so Davros is up next. Tony, you read a lot. And hello, Patrick Sherwood. Welcome. Hi. Oh, for the days when we were on the same trivia team. That was fun. That really was. Pear Crazy as well was on the team, and Boba Tennant. So that was fun. Um, Audiobooks are always an option. Rick says yes, absolutely. I have listened to a lot of about 20 something audiobooks this year, and they absolutely, in my opinion, count as reading. And like those target novelizations, they actually would take me long. It would take me less time to read the target novelizations, if I can speak, than it would to listen to them. But because I can be doing other things um, that I couldn't be reading when I'm doing it, that's a lot of fun too. So absolutely, whatever is fun for you and gets you reading, that's great. Um, so what are some of your tips, Tony? Because you read some heavy material, long books, a lot of reading. What are some of your tips for people who want to get into reading, but are perhaps a bit slow at it, like me?
I would suggest using speed reading techniques. So using a card or your finger to outline the line you're on. Um, that tends to help me. Also setting weekly goals for what you want to read, and break your daily reading into 5 to 20 minute chunks. And then if you really want to go pro at it, you can look up speed reading tools and techniques to train you to read without your inner dialogue, which will help you speed read faster.
Wow. So a lot of great information there. One thing you can do to help, what I've heard is using from Tony is use your finger to track where you are so that you don't lose your place and you're not spending a lot of time rereading, which I do. Another would be to use a bookmark or a card to block off. Is it the lines you've read or the lines ahead of you.
Either way
way
whichever
works.
one works.
Whichever one works for you. One thing that I do is I read out loud in my head, which means that I can't read at a faster pace than I can read out loud. So it is a bit weird, and it's hard to get used to trying not to read with an internal voice in your head reading it out loud, but that can also help, is what Tony's saying. Those are some great tips. I really, yeah. And what were the other ones that you said? You said
Set daily and weekly goals.
daily and weekly
Break
goals.
your daily reading down into 5 to 20-minute chunks.
Okay.
Or either minute chunks or page chunks. Depends on the book.
Awesome.
Anyway, I should get started on Davros.
Yeah, you get started on Davros, and there's hey Parapic Llama. We didn't even mention Torchwood, and you summoned we summoned you. That's awesome. Thank you so much for the tips. But what do I do with Target novels? Alex says I forgot most of City of Death, and I don't want to go in there and randomly spoil them. So can you clarify your question a bit? The target novelizations are great. I think they're most interesting when you don't really remember the episode so well, unless it's an episode you really like and you want to see how they've expanded it well. Um, but I think that's my tips there. Whose books? I haven't had a chance to watch The Web of Fear yet. But you think it's not as bad as people say. I love all the animations. I'm very grateful for them doing them. I absolutely think that that's the case. I'm grateful for anything um, that is better than them being missing. Louise says I thought it wasn't great. From the clips that I've seen, I'm not that impressed with it, but that's because they tried to do 3D on a small budget. It was impressive with what they did, though. Right? I mean, the time and budget is a huge factor. Patrick says, "Are you up for a round of Scrambled Who?" Maybe. Oh yes. I don't know how you want to do that, but if you want to comment something that we have to then guess, that would be great. Oh, Scrambled Who was the toughest one. It drives you nuts because you're trying to think of what it could be and you have to unscramble everything. Patrick did great. Whose books? I also wouldn't mind if the BBC do Marco Polo in the Web of Fear style or Fear from the Deep style. Whatever gets it animated, but also whatever gets it animated well. So I would rather wait longer or have a two-part release or something, just so that they have enough time to do a good job. And obviously they care about that because Power of the Daleks, they went back and redid it with a special edition. So I think that they definitely should do that. Here is a tip for me to read out loud. It helps you to concentrate. Lewis says that's a good point. Reading out loud is absolutely a great thing that you can do, and I like that taking it in chunks because I feel like I need to set aside hours and hours to read. But I definitely have 5 to 20 minutes in the day that I would otherwise spend, I don't know, scrolling Doctor Who TikTok or looking at Doctor Who memes. So that's also helpful. Whose book says I use my finger or put a bookmark underneath a line when reading a Doctor Who book and read a few chapters a day. That's great. Whose books? Whatever the goal is that you feel good getting done. For me, it's 10 pages a day, but obviously I have times where I binge read books and then don't read anything or I listen to the audiobooks instead. But I try and listen to either audiobooks or read a little bit a day. John says, if you're enjoying the stream, please take a moment to sonic that like button and subscribe for more great Doctor Who content. Thank you so much, John. I'm so glad that you are there. Have my back for reminding me to say that. I appreciate that. Um, Alex says, what do I do if I haven't seen the television story and I'm going to read the novel version? What do I do there? So, I mean, it's interesting. It depends on what you prefer because for a lot of people, reading the novelization it's kind of like reading the book before the movie. It's something that it's kind of a double-edged sword because sometimes you watch the real thing and you're like, oh, the book was better. But oftentimes, if you have seen the episode, the target novelization can kind of spoil it, or it will definitely spoil the whole episode. But it depends on what you want. I personally enjoyed either way. But if you haven't seen an episode and you want to just enjoy it, maybe on a Blu-ray box set for the first time or something, you can hold off on the novelization. But I think it's kind of cool. Like I remember reading the Fellowship of the Ring, like the Lord of the Rings trilogy, certainly The Hobbit before seeing the movies. Definitely The Hobbit a long time before seeing the movies, and I can kind of remember my own images of the characters, and what your imagination brings to it is obviously something that TV can never quite replicate. So I'm glad that I have those memories of what those characters looked like. Obviously, I love what the movies did with the Lord of the Rings, so that's great as well. But I'm kind of glad I got a choice to see it the first way, if that makes any sense. Hair Crazy Wonder 3 is having flashbacks to Scrambaloo. Oh my gosh. It was fun but crazy. As long as it wasn't a music round. Oh, that was the worst. Everything, all the 80s music just sounds the same. I swear they use like the same music in every episode. Um Louise, I'm sorry your message vanished. I'm seeing it. I don't see it in the chat, but please do comment that again about Marco Polo. Also, another tip, enjoy it, don't force yourself into it. Lewis says, absolutely, with the reading. It's okay. It's okay. Whatever you do, it's great. More reading is more reading. Um, let's see. Scramble. Let's see. What are you looking forward to about Series 13 for me? It is a return of the classic series uh, style of Centaurans and the Weeping Angels. Yes, those have been rumored. Centaurans been spotted. Um, Davros drawing. Oh, I'm drawing Davros too. Amadana Sorry says it is a race to draw Davros. Karen says, "Oh, Tony can draw. Go, Tony! Nice. Yes, absolutely. If you haven't yet, suggest a Doctor Who monster or villain, and we will add it to the wheel. We need a name for this wheel, the wheel of monsters or something. And we will spin and see whose monster gets picked. Um, let's see. I think they should do. Lewis says the Underwater Menace in 3D animation. I think it would work really well. The original Whose Book agrees and says the original DVD release is not great, and I only use it to watch the two surviving episodes. Absolutely. I hope that every Patterson missing episode will be released on Steelbook, either as a special edition or just, yeah, I guess as a special edition if it's already been released. And I hope that they actually would do all of the Patrick Troughton stories, because once you've gotten all the missing episodes ones, it's not that far to go for the rest of them. So I don't know. I don't know if they'd ever do necessarily all of those, but I think there's a market for it. And once you have that many on Steelbook, it does look a bit weird to have those gaps. But I want some Mystery Doctor Who recorded VHS tapes today. The Cohen fan says, congratulations. That's awesome. That's really great. Congratulations. We love some VHS tapes around here. I've got my whole wall of VHS tapes here. Um, I hope that the 60th, Whose Book Says, will be shown in the cinemas like the 50th special did. I hope so too. That would be amazing, as long as it's safe enough, obviously. That will be great. Patrick Sherwood says, when it comes to maybe releasing the Daleks Master Plan, how many discs do you think that set might have? I think possibly 4, could be more or less. It's 10 episodes, so obviously you'd need at least 2 discs just for the episodes alone. You can fit 5 on one disc, so we know that that's possible. You're going to need a bonus features disc. I think it might be 3 or 4. I think maybe possibly 3. Louise says Dog's Master Plan is a big one, but 2 discs should be enough with how much a Blu-ray can hold. Although I won't say no to more discs. I think you're right, Louise. I think 2 plus a bonus features disc. But considering that they might have to shove it onto a collection box set as well, they might try and limit it to just 2. I think personally that they're going to do the Daleks Master Plan animation in 2 releases. Episodes 1. Oh, no. It's 12 episodes. So obviously they could do 6 episodes for each disc. I misspoke. I think they're going to do 2 Steelbook releases. I think it'll be the Daleks Master Plan Part 1 and Part 2, because 12 episodes is a mammoth amount of animation. And I think that you need a lot of funding for that, and I think it would increase funding and just, popularity to have 2 releases. I wouldn't mind that. Maybe some people would. It would drive them nuts. But I don't know. I'd love to know your thoughts. Would you prefer it to be in one steelbook or in two releases? I think 2 releases could give them more time to do the animation well, which is important, but it's an option. Benjamin James Miller says, I hope Russell Davies brings back Ace since he's returning. Oh my gosh, yes. I need a Wilfred Mott spin-off show, obviously. But if Wilfred Mott doesn't come back, I will be so sad. Alex says, I did mention I'm getting 2 parcels next week. Nice. Both are Troughton, the Enemy of the World DVD and the Evil of the Daleks Steelbook. Very Troughton themed week. Well, enjoy. It was a fun era for the Troughton um, era of Doctor Who, and I'll tell you why. Because you asked. It's absolutely still that time of the 60s where they were experimenting. But it wasn't quite so much wild trying as the Hartnell era was. That they would try all sorts of different things, comedies, far future, sci-fi fantasies, different genres, and sometimes they'd have great success, and sometimes they wouldn't have great success. I mean, the Chumbleys were supposed to be the next Daleks because Terry Nation had taken his Daleks and his rights to America to try and start a show, and they were doing the Daleks movies with Peter Cushing. So they were trying to come up with the next Daleks, and obviously they were experimenting, but it didn't catch up. It didn't catch on the same way. Um, so I think the Tron era was actually very smart because they figured out a format that would work, and it was the base under siege format, which meant that they could have less sets, needed less location filming. They still did that to some extent, obviously, but they were able to be smarter in how they produce their sets, and that story format is obviously very successful. And you see so many base under siege stories in the Patterson era. The formula almost got obvious at times, but they also figured out that if some monster was working, bring them back like that. The Yeti came in one episode. The next season, they're back. The Cybermen were brought back 4 times during the second Doctor's run, or 5 was it? Not that many. The Moon Base, Two Inside Men, the Invasion, um, Wheel in Space. So 4 times. They brought the Daleks back 1, 2 times. They found what worked and they ran with it. So I have a lot of respect for the Troughton era. Obviously, proving that Doctor Who could continue. There would be no other eras without it. Marker Sculpson says, I would love seeing Ace return with her Nitro 9. Absolutely. Make an explosive return. Whose book says, when will Series 14 air? I'm going to give you my guess and see what your answer is. Series 14, I'm hoping will air early 2023 because I think there's enough to do in celebrating a 60th that to introduce a new Doctor as well, it would kind of do them a disservice to have to oh, we need to get to know you real fast because we're bringing back all these other Doctors. And I think that during 2022 with the specials, when they're airing, Series 14 will be in production, and I think it'll air in early, 2023. And some memes were joking that this was Russell D Davies coming back meant that things were going to be back to formula. And I saw a tweet that was like, "Oh, I hope that we'll just go back to 13 episodes a series." And I'm like, "Yes, please." Oh my gosh, it is possible to make more Doctor Who episodes on a budget without sacrificing, because really the most important thing is a writer, and whether you're doing 6 episodes or 13, if you turn it into two-parter, that's less writers you need to hire. But I mean, it's Russell T Davies, so anyway, I think that they can absolutely write good episodes and more of them. But I think the way that the news press release was phrased was he'll be returning for the 60th anniversary and beyond, which implies that they would come the year after for Series 14. I'd love to know your thoughts when you think it's coming back. Whose book says, I'm guessing early 2023, and the series will hopefully be 13 episodes, and then the 60th special, and also a Christmas special, like Matt did. That would be awesome. I don't know if a Christmas special would happen, but it would be amazing. I think with Russell back, they would go to a Christmas special rather than a New Year's Day special, even though I didn't mind it either way. And in the 2024 series, 15 will be 13 and a Christmas special again. Whose book says, yeah, that would be awesome. Obviously hasn't been confirmed, but that would be incredible. Ryan Tablet, hello. If you want to suggest a monster or villain for the Wheel of Monsters, please do, and we will add it in there. We've got Invasion Cybermen, K1 Robot, the Emperor Dalek, Agador, Weeping Angels, Mushroom Trees from the Chase, Special Weapons Dalek, Cybermen, Lost Warriors Cybermen, a Draconian, Mavellan, and Skaroth, Special Weapons Dalek. And currently, Tony's doing a great job of drawing out Davros, and I can already tell that that is the Julian Bleach uh, Series 4 finale Davros. Is that correct? Am I wrong? Is that the reference image?
I don't know.
New series?
This one.
Yes, I was right. You did it well there. So Patrick Sherwood says, "What's everybody's top prediction for the next animated and the first animation of 2022?" I'm going to put it out there first and say The Abominable Snowmen. John Fisher says The Wheel in Space or The Highlanders. Ome Dinosaur says Davros is looking good there. Alex says a wild Hoovian Espresso has appeared. Hello, Hoovian Espresso. Extra, welcome. Hi, so glad you are here. That is from a Series 4 reference pick. Oh my goodness, this is awesome. Hello. Will Hoovian Espresso please suggest a monster for the Wheel of Monsters as well? And please as well, let's see. Do suggest one if you have not. Let's see. Lewis is guessing the Abominable Snowman. Hello to Sadie Slade. Welcome. If you want to suggest a monster or villain, we will add that to the Wheel of Monster Names and see if it gets picked to be drawn next. As for my guess, I think they're gonna go back to a Troughton. Let's see. I do think the Abominable Snowman would be a good one because it's obviously another Yeti story. I think that makes sense. Slitheen for Hoovian Espresso Extra. We will add that in. Slitheen. Fun. Tony says Hoovian Latte is how I'm going to write it after what Grandma renamed you. That's a great choice, actually.
I was doodling Slovene as a test.
Hey, that's great. Love a good Slitheen. I love their design. Those giant claws. All right, I'm refreshing my memory on the remaining episodes to animate. I really think that for the second Doctor, I hope that they do the Highlanders because that will fill in some DVD gaps on the shelf. It's only 4 episodes. Um, I think the Abominable Snowman would be great because imagine you could have the steelbook for the Macro Terror, the Faceless Ones, the Evil of the Daleks, and then a steelbook for the Abominable Snowman. And I would hope that they would then do a special edition re-release of the Ice Warriors with new animation so that we could then have steelbooks for Macro Terror, Faceless Ones, Evil, Abominable, Ice Warriors, Web of Fear, and Fury from the Deep, and eventually when they get around to the Wheel in Space too. Like that's a string of well, I suppose they would also need to do one for Enemy of the World. Um, but that's almost a string of consecutive, like 6 consecutive steelbooks. So that would be great. I may have to just do a complete new video. Loving it. We're getting the Davros colored in there. It's great. Patrick Sherwood says, if we do not have on your list, Alex, I'd love to suggest John Pertwee's Monster the Drashigs, pretty please. All right. That's a great choice. I love the Drashigs. Drashig for Patrick Sherwood. Let's see. Animate the Crusade so we can have a complete season 2. Alex says yes, absolutely. That would be my choice for William Hartnell. Obviously, a very hard one to animate, but they've got to get around to doing all of them, right? Right? I hope. Whose book says after when Russell has left this time around, telling you right now, Stephen Moffat will replace him because I think he's said he's jealous of him on Instagram. Oh, very possibly. And I would be okay with that. TARDIS Spider, hello. Welcome. And hello to Earth Mama 23. Not sure why my messages aren't showing up. Oh no, Earth Mama, hello. Hi. I see you now. This is a thing. Let's see. Well, you're coming up again. I'm seeing you now, Earth Mama. welcome. If you'd like to choose a monster or villain, please do. Same to TARDIS Spider. All right, let's see. We need a Slovene return, K1 fan says. Absolutely. When the Highlanders has been animated, it will be the style of Fury from the Deep animations. Will it? Oh, that's cool. The Space Pirates, anybody? Patrick Jordan says, we don't need to talk about the Space Pirates. We don't need an animation of that. No, I would get the Space Pirates. I think it's terribly underrated. Even though I haven't listened to it, I've only seen the surviving episode. Actually, does anybody else have the feeling where they kind of don't want to listen to missing episodes they haven't listened to yet because you want to experience it first in the animation? I'm kind of at that place right now, you know? Whose books? I can see Mission to the Unknown getting an animation treatment, even though it has been amazingly recreated. Well, I think because there's a recreation as well, that's more content to put on the disc. Um, I don't know if they would justify. I mean, we've never had a one episode release on DVD, never mind Steelbook and Blu-ray, but I think it would be great. Um, I really do. I'm also gonna swap. I'm gonna switch from top chat to live chat, which my apologies should have been the case. Maybe that'll help me see more of your messages. Hopefully, I haven't actually listened to any of them. Not gonna lie, Hoovy Espresso Extra says I have not listened to. Let's see, which missing episodes have I not listened to? Let's see, definitely not Highlanders. Um, and of the ones left, not Abominable Snowmen, not Wheel in Space, or the Space Pirates. So I actually have a couple that I'd be Highlanders. Haven't listened to that. Um, and quite a few of the. Let's see, I've listened to The Crusade, Reign of Terror, Marco Polo. I've listened to not Galaxy 4. I've seen all the surviving stuff, but not the Myth Makers or the Dalek Master Plan. But I could. I've got the first two volumes of the Lost TV episodes. I made the same switch myself. John Fisher says thanks. I should have had that the way it is. I don't know why that's not an option. That's not the default option. Space Pirates are some really great costume, TARDIS Spider says. That's awesome. I forgot about that. I watched the loose canon adaptations of all the missing stories back in 2014. Oh My Dinosaur says. That's awesome. Loose canon did some great ones. I love the color one of Marco Polo. Really made me fall in love with the story. Absolutely loved it. In the original Mission to the Unknown, doesn't Hartnell appear at the end or not? I've never listened to it. Whose book says, I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think any of the regular cast were in that episode. But I could be mistaken. Um, but they did a really good job recreating it back at Land. What was the name of the people who did the recreation? They did a really good job. U-Clan, wasn't it? Yeah, the U-Clan reconstruction. I hope that ends up as a bonus feature, at least on the Daleks Master Plan whenever that comes out. And so one thing that I love is the complete history books. But what I love about these is that it really gives you a great perspective on the behind the scenes creation of each story. I also love the sections that they do on the merchandise that's come out about each story. But it gives you a recap, starts you off with a recap of the story, which I find very helpful. That you have 6 pictures from each episode, as well as an introduction to the entire story. It tells you kind of about what influences were happening to cause them to write those stories. So you get a recap of it, which is great. It's really what you need. And then they take you through the pre-production process, the production, the which is very fascinating. It tells you like the order in which they filmed things and what scenes they filmed in what order. The post-production, which is fascinating because as an editor, love to hear about that, about the publicity, the broadcast, and gives you some dates on transmission and any repeat transmissions, tells you about the merchandise and the cast and credits, and does a profile on the actor from the story. And I found myself appreciating a lot of the stories more that I didn't enjoy as much just watching because I'd actually engaged with the complete history.
All right, we're almost done.
All right, almost done Davros. We are gonna continue with the wheel, spinning the wheel. So let's get to it. All right, here we go. What monster or villain will be next? Oh, oh, and it's just clicked on over onto Agador, as suggested by John Fisher. Well done, congratulations. I'm gonna take Agador off the list now. Agador is going to join after Davros is finished. I'm seeing, let's see. All right. So Earth Mama 23, I'm gonna make you a moderator. So hopefully all of your comments should come through. We'll see. I don't know what's up with my YouTube live stream comments, but hey, it's been an annoying problem in live streams before for a while now. Oh, my dinosaur says, I'm still drawing my Davros. Your brother is too fast for me. Oh no, he's still under construction. Oh, you should, if you can, oh my dinosaur, if you want to, send an email with a picture or on Twitter or Instagram, however you want to do it, and I can pop it up on the live stream. If any of you want to draw along and share your Doctor Who drawings, please do and tweet me, and I will share them in the stream. Yeah, so that would be great if I see them. So that's just so much fun. Where were we? Oh yeah, in the mood to watch 213 Doctor stories. Nice. Any suggestions? Whose book says? Ooh, definitely The Demons of the Punjab.
One.
There's The Woman Who Fell to Earth, The Ghost Monument, Rosa.
Rosa.
So Rosa and The Demons of the Punjab, I absolutely think are two brilliant suggestions. I also love Spyfall. That was fun. Let's see. Earth Mama 23 says, I'll try again. Thank you, Alex. My vote is Gas Mask Zombie, just because it scared me so much. All right, Earth Mama 23 wants a Gas Mask Zombie. That's a great choice. That's a great choice, actually, yeah. Earth Mama 23. All right, let's see. Oh, we'll go back to the chat. Sadie Slade and Dr. Master. What is up? Okay, I'm just making everybody moderators. Use your power wisely. I'm sorry that it's not going through. That your comments aren't coming through. This is frustrating. All right. I've made you both moderators. I'm going to rewatch Spyfall and the Witchfinders. Oh, nice. Nice. Davros is looking amazing. Love that. I like the perspective on the chair. The skirting of the Dalek is great. All right, so we're going to start in on Agador next, right?
Yes.
Agador is next. Whose books? The Witchfinders is so good. I want to read the novelization. I don't have it yet, but I want to read that. Lewis says I have to go. It's been great hanging out with you and the Who crew. See you in the next video or stream. Please, can you keep my suggestion up so I can view it tomorrow? Yes, Lewis. We will get to as many as we can in the time that we have, but absolutely. And again, we could, I don't know, I'll see if I can convince Tony if he wants to do a volume 2 of this at some point. But yeah, this has been really fun. I had a couple vanish too. It must be a YouTube bug. Oh, I don't think mine are either, Andrew. I love how like the comments don't come through until it's somebody saying my comments aren't coming through. I mean, I suppose it's helpful, but I'm just making everybody moderators. I'm not sure why. I think because I do have my YouTube comments are set to approve to quite a lot of uh, it's just a very strict settings I have on YouTube because I prefer to approve comments, and if there are any bad ones, then nobody has to see them. But thanks so much for stopping by, Lewis. So good to see you. Um, but I wonder if that affects the live streaming. I don't know why it would, but I'm hoping that now that I've made you moderators, I should be seeing it. Louise says I need to read The Witchfinder's. Just been too busy lately catching up with Big Finish. There's so much Big Finish. So good on you for keeping up with Big Finish. Can you add the Absorbaloff to the wheel, please, Dr. Master? I'm going to call you Dr. Master. Andrew, please submit a monster if you like. For this, we want the Absorbaloff. 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 There we go. Don't know if that's spelled correctly. I can spell Raxacoricophalopatorius, but not Absorbaloff, apparently. And then let's catch up on the chat. Thanks for chatting, peeps. Enjoy the episode. Whose Books? Good to see you, Whose Books? Thanks for hanging out. I'm new to interacting on the live, so maybe this is why it didn't work for me. Well, I'm seeing yours now. Saley Slade says, can you add the Fendel creature to the wheel, please? That's a great suggestion. Saley Slade, thank you. We will definitely add the Fendel creature. Loving this. There's, oh my gosh, I see the outline. I see the outline coming. This is so cool. With RTD back on the horizon, it opened up so much potential from his new era. I made my own fan casts, which I may not share, as it would be kind of awkward with my choices. Alex, I'm glad you're excited, though. That's really cool. I am too. Obviously, I want him to bring back the RTD, a lot of things from series 1 to 4, but I have to say that I also want him to do his own new thing. He's grown as a writer, become really done some amazing things in the writing world. I want him to do something new as well, do something that's his old thing, because now we'll be comparing it to the RTD era of old and all the nostalgia. And I'm like, that's great, but if he just tries to recreate that, it's going to fall flat because we have something to compare it to, which is something that can't ever be recreated because it was back in our past, right? So I want him to do something new, cool, and hopefully he'll bring back some fun characters. A lot of people want Martha to make a return. I wouldn't say no to any of that. But I also want a balance of some new fun things and new other creatures to come back and new plot lines as well as picking up on old ones. It's just Torchwood and Time War stuff I'm catching up on for now. The main range is too much, Louise. There's a lot of the main range. I totally get that. Sounds fun though. I'm glad you're keeping up with the Torchwood and Time War stuff. That's fun. I really want to get up to date on that stuff, but there's just so much, and it's not free, which is. Before making my suggestion for the wheel, I was tempted to suggest a canine villain as a joke. That's great, Louise. We'll have to do like one where it's just open up to like other characters and stuff. But the Doctor Who guide, I'm presuming you watch Doctor Who on BBC America. Dr. Master says, as a Brit, I'm quite curious, do you have to pay a TV license? We do not have to pay a TV license. We pay a lot more in other ways, I'm sure, and you know, some taxes for stuff as well, but we don't pay a TV license. We do pay for cable in order to get TV channels. We don't currently because we watch everything online. And actually, we used to watch Doctor Who on BBC America, but we realized that with our schedules, they were also different, and we wanted to watch Doctor Who together as a family. It was one of those rare shows that we all really enjoyed watching, or all 5 of us really enjoyed it. And so what we did is we just started buying them on Amazon, and with Amazon, you can watch them, I think, definitely by the next day, maybe post midnight. Not sure when the new episode becomes available, but it's like $1.99, $2.99, and that's how we watched. I think series 8 onwards we watched through Amazon. I remember watching on BBC America series 7 and possibly 8 or 9, but yeah, that's how we do it. And yeah, I don't know if it's different for all of you, but BBC America is a paid channel, I believe, but no TV license in the US. Louise says yes, that is correct. Oh, my dinosaur, my Davros is done. I've sent him over. Awesome. Well, I will take a look at that. I'm checking my email now. All right. Here's my Davros. Going. Oh my gosh, I love that.
Oh, that's great.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, let's see if I can. There is
I love it.
Davros by Oh My Dinosaur. Deborah, you've done a great job with this
I love it.
Davros. I love it. I mean I love the coloring. His expression is great. The fingers, I love the fingers. That's amazing. Love it. I can see why that took you a little bit longer. Um, but I'm glad. I'm glad that you sent that in. That's awesome. And look, we've got this Davros as well. Can I zoom? I can zoom in, can't I? I can zoom in. Oh no, wait. I just don't want to do anything. Look at this. Davros. Love that. I can't really move around at this point. Hang on. There we go. Love that Davros right here. Got the Chumbly. The Zygon! I think the Zygon's my favorite, but Agador is quickly coming into being and could possibly become my favorite. Oh my gosh, that is amazing. I love that. Well done. Well done to you both. Davros is getting good treatment. Let me tell you. All right, let's go back to the chat. KC, welcome. Got a waving hand from KC. Thank you. Thank you. Good to see you. Okay. Tony is doing Agador now from the Monster of Peladon and the Curse of Peladon. I'd like to see your Davros. Marcus Sculpin says, yes, isn't that the same as the cut down version of Last of the Time Lords? Oh My Dinosaur? He says, oh, are there adverts on BBC America? Yes. Do you remember adverts? Yes. Yes. There are. Yep. I actually remember the moment that Jenna Coleman appeared as Clara or as Oswald in Asylum of the Daleks. And at first, the first shot, because I mean, we all knew that it was going to be Amy and Rory, and that Clara was coming in like the fifth episode in the Snowman. So we all knew that, but they kept it under wraps, at least from me, that um, that that Jenna Coleman was going to be in that episode. So I remember we were on an ad break, and at first I thought seeing Jenna Coleman that it was some sort of ad, and I remember realizing like having to unmute and getting back to watching the episode because it was the actual episode. I was so shocked when I saw that. All right. Oh my gosh. Okay. So let's see. America is so lucky the streamability and stuff is so strict here in the UK. Dr. Master, well, it's good to be reminded of that because I just see all the animations and steelbooks coming out and the actual events, like seeing the animated episodes in theaters and stuff. So I don't necessarily remember to count my blessings here in the U.S., but I'm glad. I mean, it is great to have those advantages, and it's also good to remember where you are, that what benefits you have. Nice color, Marker Sculpin says. Louise says, I don't really know. I live in Wales. I just remember reading about the cutscenes on the TARDIS wiki. Interesting. Alex Tony is doing the Agador creature. We do get a lot less here. Yeah, says Louise, although since we got BritBox in the UK, I have a convenient place for Classic Who. That's awesome. Everybody should have access to BritBox. I'm going to cry at Jodie's regeneration, Dr. Massey says. I loved her doctor so much. Oh, yes. I cry at every regeneration, and I will not apologize for it. It's such an emotional time, and it really is. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. Um, and, like, I mean, I even watching The End of Time, I love Matt Smith's Doctor, Series 5. Amazing. I know what's coming and that I love it, but I'm still going to cry a lot when David Tennant is going. So, yeah, absolutely. You can just call me Mark. Awesome. Awesome. The Agador is looking great. Oh, my Donasauri says, I love the texture. Me too.
Thank you. I looked at it, I was like, oh no, it's covered in fur.
It's covered in fur. It definitely, the creature looks like a Muppet. Absolutely.
They're looking up a reference image, just half of them were like Agador spliced with Alf.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I am getting Alf vibes. I am getting Alf vibes. Dr. Master says, I remember watching a video of yours where you got tortured on DVD. Have you watched it yet? Uh, Ianto is the best character. Fight me. I have not watched it yet. Tony, there's the box set is right next to you. I haven't watched it yet because I want to binge watch the whole thing, but it's like, oh, it's 34 hours and 48 minutes long. So that means I'd want to do it in two 17.5-hour chunks, which I have done before. I watched all the Colin Baker era in 17.5 hours. But I'd have to like set aside some weekend to do that twice. But I do want to do it. And I know I don't even watch Torchwood, and I know that everybody loves Ianto the best. Louise says, I hope Jodie comes back for Big Finish. I need more from her than what little we have left. It's true, Jodie did not get as many episodes as other doctors did, and even though there will be 3 series and some specials, which is what Matt Smith and Peter Capaldi and David Tennant got, um, it, Jodie got less episodes, which is sad. It's sad. But I absolutely think that they will have her back. I mean, obviously they can't have Jacob Denman do an impression of the 13th Doctor. They currently have him doing impressions of the 11th and 12th Doctors, and Jacob does amazing impressions. But something tells me his 13th Doctor wouldn't be quite so good. So I hope that she would be open to that. It all depends. There's an Ianto Christmas audio coming, Louise says, from Big Finish. Yes, featuring a monster based on a Welsh tradition where you go caroling with a horse skull. It sounds creepy, but also Christmassy. So that's actually a perfect one to watch in a period of time between Halloween and Christmas where people haven't finished celebrating Halloween yet, but people have started celebrating Christmas super early. I feel like that could be the perfect time to listen to it. John says, hey, my suggestion got picked. Yay, yay, yes, indeed it did. Oh my gosh. Benjamin James Miller says, I hope Matt Smith does Big Finish. Absolutely, Benjamin. I think that's a great suggestion. Louise does too. Matt Smith would be amazing in Big Finish. And as great a job as Jacob Denman does, I hope that they will hire him for other roles. But I think Matt Smith I would much prefer to have the actual actor do it. But my gosh, that would be amazing. Can you imagine? That's great, Dr. Master. Love it. Good to see some fun in the chat. Let's see. Agador coming together nicely. Loving that. I do get Alf vibes, heavy Alf vibes, for sure. That's hilarious, actually. I'm loving all the Russell T Davies era memes that are coming out of this. I recently followed a Doctor Who meme page on Facebook, and it's great. Talk about 5 to 20 minutes. I could be reading Doctor Who. I definitely want to read the Pirate Planet novelization first out of these new ones, but also In the Blood interests me. So John says, Tony is doing a fabulous job. He's very talented. I can't draw to save my life. I know, right? I mean, this is why I had made up a thumbnail, and at first I just put in my face because I was like, I didn't know if Tony would want to be in a thumbnail, and I'm glad that we put you in there because clearly I didn't want to give anybody the impression that I can actually draw, because otherwise this would not be happening. So I'm very, very grateful to Tony for doing this. I think it's an absolute blast, and it's something that I couldn't do otherwise. I was like, if something comes up and Tony for some reason has cannot make it, this is gonna be a disaster. We'll just have a normal stream. John says, have you found the time to read any of the RTD script books? Not yet, but somebody posted on Twitter, this seems like a great time to revisit the final chapter. It was the one that they had, and I was like, oh, I want to do that now. I really want to do that now. Gosh, and it looks like a great read. It's a nice big book. A lot of the time, like when I'm reading a Doctor Who book, it'll be, either the complete history or like a Doctor Who magazine, which I don't get physically. I get the downloads, but like it takes a long time, but it's a small thing. So I'm like, with a big book like that one, it'll take me a while, but it'll be you'll feel really accomplished once it's done. But I would like to. I honestly, finding time to set aside to just read because it does take me a while just feels very unproductive, which is something that I think everybody should work through, to say that like your time isn't wasted if it's not something that's super productive. But that's a rant for another day. But I would like to get back to reading more Doctor Who. I've got to keep up my 10 pages a day, but obviously I'm also really into the audiobooks at the moment. Let's see. Louise says 13 River would go against canon, but I would want that too. I'm hoping the fourth Eccleston set has River because it's called Old Friends and also has the Brigadier. They will find a way to get River and the Ninth Doctor to meet, considering they've gotten River and all of the other Doctors to meet in Big Finish. I can't imagine they would leave that stone unturned. But that would be cool. I'm so excited for the Brigadier and the Ninth Doctor. I just picked up the Writer's Tale now. Hooving Espresso Extra says, ironically, it's now the #1 product on Doctor Who on Amazon at the moment. Get out of here. That's hilarious. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. I love it. The 10th Doctor books have my childhood, Dr. Mazza says. Every British kid read one of those at school. I love them. I've got a shelf of them up here. I love reading those. Those are so great. I want to read them in order too, which is fun. Maybe when Big Finish can do stories with 13, Louise says you could enter a 13th Doctor story for the annual Paul Sprague Memorial Contest. Absolutely. All right, so shall we spin the wheel? Because Agador is looking amazing. I love the details you did, and the face now with the coloring looks a bit more sinister and less elf-like, even though I'm still getting elf vibes, but it's enough to not make it comical, which I like. All right. Let's spin that wheel. Who's next? Who's next? Who's next? Who are you drawing next? The Movellans from Mark. All right. The Movellans. From Destiny of the Daleks. Yes. Is that technically not a monster or villain?
No, I mean,
Are you down for it?
I'm down for it, but
Okay.
you know better than I do.
I mean, they're rather humanoid monsters or villains, which I guess it's squeaking by. It's squeaking by. We'll make it work. Oh, Mark is excited, so yes, we'll do it. Oh yeah, I love the Movellans. Oh, my dinosaur says, "What? Being a Davros fan, I'm sure that you do. That's awesome." What if the 60th was written by Moffat, Chibnall, and Davies? I'd adore the energy they could create, Doctor Master. That I can you imagine that like the writers' room there? I feel like they get in fights over all the crazy stuff they'd want to do. It would be like 17 hours long and contradict itself, but also do amazing, crazy things. I think it would be great. Um, let's see. Big Finish basically started as a fan fiction back when they were audio visuals, Lee says, plus all the teams are fan themselves. Absolutely. I think most of the writers they get are Doctor Who fans as well, so I think it totally counts that they are. It's technically fan fiction, but it's what the difference is, technically, if we want to get technical, is that it is an approved licensee of BBC Worldwide, I believe. So like they have the license to write those stories, and they are an official LLC, company. I don't know if it's an LLC or if it's a different thing, but yeah, it's the legal stuff and the fact that they're officially sanctioned that makes them not fan fiction, even though it is fiction written by fans. But I totally get what you're saying. The Movellans are robots, technically, Louise says. So, counts. It counts. It counts. Definitely. Definitely counts. Chibnall, Gallifrey's dead. Moffat, Gallifrey lives. Davies, stop this now. I mean, this is the thing. When I think people are eager to dump a lot of blame on whoever the latest showrunner is, and so I mean, when people are like, "Oh, Chibnall's ruined canon," I'm like, well, it's not like Chibnall or Davies paid a heck of a lot of attention to it either. I mean, there was a lot of actually exploring. I mean, it feels like, either way, haters will criticize because it's like if you explore the origins of the Doctor, they're like, no, it should be more of a mystery. And then when you actually make it a very mysterious thing, like, oh, you thought they were even Time Lords? No, never mind. Then they're like, oh, that's too far. And so it's like I feel like you can never get it quite right. But actually, I think it's been a tradition of each. I was talking with my dad last night about this, that each showrunner, Davies, Moffat, and Chibnall, have added in a Doctor as a regeneration that we didn't know of before. That didn't get a full 3 series, wasn't an official Doctor. So you have for Russell T Davies, you have obviously that double David Tennant, and that's extra regeneration for David Tennant from the specials, um, and that took up an extra regeneration. Then Moffat brought in the War Doctor and kind of retconned in the canonicity of whether it was an actual regeneration that was used or a regeneration that was stopped in the Russell T Davies era, and then Chibnall brought in the Ruth Doctor, which you wouldn't have had to have any sort of pre-Hartnell doctors just to justify the Ruth Doctor's existence if Russell T Davies and Stephen Moffat hadn't have used more regenerations than they were supposed to. But I think it's great fun. I think it's the fact that Time Lords can give you an entire regeneration cycle opens up the possibility that there are extra doctors out there, so that's cool. Um, Louise says, Louise hated the whole Chibnall Gallifrey stuff, but the show is always ruined canon, especially in the extended universe. So I know I'll get over it. I love the show regardless. I love that. I love that. Whoa, did you just lose lines too, or is that just me on my end? There we go.
Yeah.
Phew. I love that attitude because, like, you know, the reason Doctor Who survives as a show is because it can be handed on to new writers, to different writers, and the classic series has become something that we talk about as a whole, but there are so many different eras, there's so many different contradictions, there's so much extended universe stuff that contradicts itself on purpose that to act as though we have some precious Doctor Who canon that can't ever be changed or contradicted, I think is I don't understand it because I'm like this canon isn't something Doctor Who has paid much attention to. And it's up to Big Finish and Extended Universe to kind of knit that together. And I love books like the Whoniverse. No, the Dalek Handbook that John Fisher gave me. That one I read cover to cover, loved it because it actually made sense of the Dalek timeline, and in a way that yes required in some backwriting, but not as much, and did it in a way that stitched the Dalek stories together with the same themes. That was really fascinating to read about, and really made me feel like, wow, I wish that they would do stories for all of the Doctor Who universe that just knits it together into one thing, because an extended universe that like Star Wars or like other fandoms that have a universe that makes sense, I think is really cool and adds a strength. But that's sort of my thoughts on the canon. Like especially if you don't like a Doctor era, they last three series and a couple of specials and that's it. And didn't seem like complaining about the Jodie Whittaker era ended it any time sooner than what they had planned. Just wait it out. If you don't like a plot line, the next series they'll ignore it. Next showrunner they'll ignore it. They'll do their own thing. There was the whole Doctor's mom plot line with Russell T Davies, and he handed the baton over to Stephen Moffat with an episode titled "The End of Time." And I think you can read some magazine articles about like, okay, wow, that's a great way to end it an era. But Earth Mama 23 says you should auction off a print of this collage when the stream is over. Oh my gosh, that's an idea. Oh my gosh, I would love it. I definitely want a printed signed version for my wall from Tony. uh, Louise says, why does Ruth have a police box TARDIS? Is my main question about her.
Plot hole in the show.
Tony says it's the worst plot hole
it.
in the show, and he hates it.
You can't just write a dramatic thing where the crux that makes us realize who she is a TARDIS, and then offer as an explanation that these are all pre-police box TARDIS doctors. It's trash.
Okay. Okay, so one thing I will say about that is that it was a writing choice that was designed to clue the audience in as to who the Doctor was and have this big reveal. I know that it doesn't make sense, but in my mind, when what that episode introduced and that whole plot line, it was kind of the least of our worries. So I can kind of overlook that as a just a writing mistake because I can respect the reasoning behind it of we need to clue people in. However, it doesn't make sense because the TARDIS obviously wasn't stuck in that form, which is why I think my theory that you can watch on the channel, it's the video with the most views on the channel. Something, how many views is that? My theory about the Ruth Doctor being a doctor in between the second and third Doctor, I I think solves that because the TARDIS would have been stuck in that shape, and I think just makes a lot of sense. Um, Obviously, they haven't followed that. I think that that Doctor could have been working for the CIA. 31K views, dang, that's a lot. Um, So that, I mean, my theory still works and explains that, but one way that if I had to explain it with the current lore is this, that whenever the TARDIS lands on Earth, because obviously when it landed on Earth in for the first Doctor with Susan, it chose the form of a police box, right? It just likes that shape for Earth, and obviously we know that since then it kind of, I mean, future canon is kind of suggested that the TARDIS likes that shape, and it's more than just a malfunction of the TARDIS's chameleon circuit, even though it is. But it's also like the TARDIS kind of like that shape. But what I'm thinking is, when the Ruth Doctor landed on Earth, it changed to its favorite Earth shape, which was a TARDIS. And if Ruth had gone to another planet, it would have changed. Obviously, they did take that TARDIS to a spaceship, but it was orbiting Earth. It was in the orbit of Earth. It may just not have changed. Didn't may have wanted not to change. So I don't know. I don't know if that makes more sense. But when something doesn't fit, use season 6B TARDIS Spider. Yes, thank you, thank you. That's where we go to fix all of our canon. That's absolutely the case. Personally, a lot of the deep lore on the dinosaurs doesn't really interest me. I'd be happy not knowing much to anything about the Doctor's backstory, but because of that, when they do these wild, here's the true origin twist, it doesn't upset me. It's just kind of a nothing thing. I'd rather just go back to more adventures in time and space. I think that's a good attitude to have. Obviously, I think that it, just going, you kind of have to not try and make everything make sense with Doctor Who canon because of how much contradictions there are. You'll do your head in. It's just so frustrating. But I can see both sides. I'd like to learn a little bit more, but obviously the whole point of the show was that we didn't know too much about this character. It's Doctor Who. Who are you? That's the question. But I think that when Stephen Moffat did the whole Doctor Who thing and the name of the Doctor, it was like, okay, I wasn't that into it and knowing that specifics, but I am interested to learn more about the Doctor's history. Good to see you, TARDIS Spider. Thank you so much for dropping by. Oh my gosh, so always good to see you. Mark says maybe the functioning chameleon circuit made it look like a familiar TARDIS. Could have been. Like, it sensed another TARDIS there and became that TARDIS shape. Ruth comes after the scarecrows take Troughton out, but before Pertwee, that makes sense with the police box. Lee says, "Yes, thank you. I think that's how it makes sense." Um,
I think if you have to work that hard, you didn't write Babylon 5.
oh my gosh. Louise says, so Clara sent the first Doctor into the TARDIS he had previously used. Oh, that's interesting. The fact everything contradicts is fun, Louise says. Yeah, kind of leaves a bit of writing for us to do. So is the... Oh, I had the chat covering up Mavellan. I was like, are we doing the Mavellan yet? There's the Mavellan. Loving that. Yeah, I mean, season 6B is fascinating if you get into it. And there's this Big Finish is doing a season 6B box set, which I hope won't ruin too many of my uh, theories. But plot holes are a challenge for a fan brain. Oh, my dinosaur says this is true. This is so true. And there were plenty of them in Doctor Who. What are some things you want to see in series 13, Tony?
Um, I don't know. I want to see. I want to see a cohesive story that is format is like about like surrounds like maybe one of the wars and like I know they're doing a big old story instead of episodic things, but I think they need to like really lean hard into a long political war plot,
Hmm.
something a little different.
Yeah, a more linked storyline. So apologies, Tony. I've just moved the camera window. John pointed it out. My hour, the view of us, has been covering up your Magellan. So now people are seeing it for the first time. Um, so there we go. There we go. Yeah, so I've always I like it when we have either two-parters or an overarching plot line that makes sense. I really think that that helps because when you have episodic writing, you spend the first 10 minutes or so developing and introducing and basically doing a lot of exposition. And when you're introducing people to a new culture, a new setting, a new problem, that's a lot to cover. And you have less time for the audience to get to know the characters and get emotionally attached to the characters, and there's just a lot going on with every new episode. But when you have a similar setting, and I think this is why the John Pertwee era was a success, in that with Unit you had the same characters, the same Earth setting, you could get a bit of a formula going, some character development, which is rare for the classic series. And I think in the new series, when you have like a completely linked series, it's not so much about it sinking or swimming. It's like you either it's going to be a great success or it's going to be a terrible flop. But it's less likely when if you have a good writer behind it, linking everything together. I think is a really smart move because it gives you more time to develop characters. And yes, you can change up the settings, but I think having the same characters is really important for that character growth and bringing back plot lines so that something you introduce in episode 1 comes in back in episode 13 or something like that, so that you can make a more cohesive story. I love the ability that doing single episodes has to entice new viewers, but I think that if that comes at a cost of writing or viewer engagement, then that's not no longer worth it. Let's see in the chat. Beautiful. Oh, my dinosaur says, and they save money. Mark says, absolutely, they save money. Um, it's very true. There's a fiscal advantage to it, and when you have the same actors, when they're all acting with each other, they vibe more, and they have a different relationship on screen, which I think is great. My favorite contradiction is about the Ogrons, Louise says. Apparently, the original events of Day of the Daleks before the Time War had no Ogrons. I want to see that version. Oh, interesting. I never heard that. Oh, was this? It's probably because you've listened to the Big Finish Time War stuff. That's fascinating. Oh my gosh, yeah. There's a lot of cool stuff that Big Finish does. All right, should we? How is the where are we on the Magellan? Looking good. Great. Awesome. It's time to spin the wheel. Awesome. All right, we're gonna do one more. We'll fit in one more monster or villain before the stream sadly has to come to an end. So here we go. Moment of truth. Who's the lucky winner? Oh, 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 oh. Hey, it's a weeping angel for Hair Crazy 123. Congratulations. Let's see. A Weeping Angel. There we go. Go back to the new drawing. Where is the Weeping Angel going to go so I cannot put...
There.
Okay, cool. That's good, because I'm blocking half of it right now. We'll go under the Chumbly. There we go. Yeah. Oh, Pear will be excited about that. Alex, you were so close. The Emperor Dalek was there. Who is... Oh, the K1 Robot, too. There are a lot of great suggestions here, and I hope in... possibly in a future live stream we'll get around to them. Honestly, I want to say kudos to you, Tony, because you're drawing these at a very quick pace, but you're not like sacrificing too much. I think on the style, you've got enough that it's not taking super long because we do have quite a few to get through in a relatively short period of time for drawing. But I like the level of detail that you've given to each of these.
I could go like a lot. If I had more time, I could do a lot more like color and shading on them, but I have to just go basic cartoony style.
I would be very happy to be able to draw this style. But yeah, this is really cool. I'm loving this. Oh, nobody suggested Ood. Should have had Ood.
I also tested drawing.
This is true. Having a future stream revisit this would be great. John says, well, the great thing about the Wheel of Names is it saves the wheel. So I think we will be able to revisit this and spin the wheel and see who gets picked again. So I think that would be fun. Yay! Tony says it would be down. That would be amazing. Louise says, please don't draw a weeping angel. That's bad news and will all be at risk. Because whoever beholds the image of an angel becomes itself an angel. An image of an angel is itself an angel, Louise says, yes. On a serious note, though, Louise says these drawings are amazing and it's been nice to have Who fans to talk with. It's been great. Louise, it's been awesome to hear you've got, I can tell, I mean, you all have such an extensive knowledge of Doctor Who, and it's really fun to catch up and chat about all things Who with all of you. Thank you so much for hanging out and spending this time with us. We'll go until 5 p.m., and that means Tony's got 15 minutes to finish this angel, but I think you'll do it in that time. Speed round. Tony's so talented. Oh, my dinosaur, he says. Hoovian Espresso Extra says, ooh, I like that McFarlane. I couldn't see it before. Lol, yes. I will try not in the next stream to not block any of the drawings.
I put it there so I didn't have to bother drawing the rest of the human.
Ah, I see. I agree. I really like your art style and how you've been doing this. I'm thrilled. This has been so much fun. It's been great for me. I get to just enjoy it and host. But it's hard when you're like trying to not only be the host and moderator of the live stream, but also try and do something else other than just that, whether that's commenting on an episode or something, or even trying to watch an episode. So this has been a really nice mix because obviously it would also be harder for you to draw and also keep up with the chat and stuff. Although I bet you could do it, but this is real. This is really cool. And is this the kind of program where you can zoom out and move around?
I've been zooming out.
So we could make a conglomerate, like possibly if you save this file, we could keep adding to it as streams go on.
We could. Alternatively, I could also like rearrange these into a more proper pose.
Ooh, yeah, you could put them into a proper pose.
Been,
and maybe, yeah, oh, that would be fun. That would be fun. Making just like, like a framed one with this. I mean, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 monsters. That's great. Oh, that's amazing. These are Earth Mama 23 says these are two awesome brothers right here. I love the collaboration. Thank you. Louise says, wait, if the angel gets drawn, it can send us back in time so we can watch the stream again. That's the perfect way to end the stream. Oh my gosh. It's a time loop. We're stuck in a time loop. Ah! That's great. Hoofy and Espresso Extra says, okay, imagine the missing episode's animation in Tony's art style, though. That would be amazing. Dude, dude, this is such a good idea.
I do not want to animate a full episode.
We'll do it in a comic.
I would love to do a short comic.
We'll do a comic. Just the 12-part Metallix Master Plan.
An entire animation would be the worst.
And yeah, that would be a lot.
I will say that my art style is, I'm not the most talented artist out there, but I think it's better than your average Doctor Who animation.
Oh, hot take, hot take.
You're not wrong. Than your average Doctor Who animation.
I'm so biased though, but I think so. I think you're absolutely right.
Especially if I had more time.
Rick says no pressure though, which is a good reminder. You don't have to do this. And we have asked you live to if you'll do another one. So obviously, it's either way. We're just happy to have had you do it this once. John says, Tony, oh, I'm loving it though. I'm loving it. John says, lost my thing. Okay. John says, have Tony draw a square so you can put the camera frame in it. Lol. Yes. We'll start off with a little place for me to put the camera, and that way it will never be blocking. Let's see. I really want to do Doctor Who baking one day. Anyone got any suggestions? Dr. Master says that is really fun. Doctor Who baking. Obviously, if you listen to any of the Evelyn Smythe audios, she bakes a mean chocolate cake. So obviously a chocolate cake. I've always wanted to make like a cake that is like a scaled down version, but still an impressive sized version of a Dalek, which would be very difficult. I think you could make, let's see, Doctor Who food. That's a good. I think you should definitely make a banana bread for the Ninth Doctor. Something with pears for the 10th Doctor, because the 10th Doctor hates pears. I mean, I think it would be cool to make like an actually good version of fish fingers and custard, like a fancy version where the flavors were both there, but it worked, And obviously, anything where you can throw jelly babies on top. But there is a Doctor Who cookbook. There are a couple, so that could give you more ideas. But let's see. Yeah, draw an augury as a frame for the camera. Oh my gosh, Mark says that's a great idea. Louise says something you may not know. A silly UK children's show about a guy in the BBC's Take Dump once had an Sarah Jane Adventures crossover where it was mentioned that there was a Slitheen Strictly Come Dancing special. That's amazing. Someone did do a comic of the Daleks Master Plan a few years back. Louise says, I've only seen bits of it, but it looks good. I've seen the cover. They did it like a charity graphic novel, and I've always wanted to track that down. Never seen it on eBay. I don't know, but I think, that's definitely what I was thinking of when we were saying our comic. Speaking of the animations, have you seen the recent Infiltration of the Daleks videos? Mark says, I have not. I have not. But they sound cool. Dr. Master, my step-grand made me a TARDIS birthday cake last year, so maybe that inspired my thought process. I mean, first off, doing Doctor Who cookies, like, the basic gingerbread shape, but you can frost them with the different costumes of the Doctors, I think would be really fun. And you could do, like, obviously 13, 14, as many as you wanted. But that would be fun. There's some fun ideas out there. I bet you could, like, watch an episode and try and get some inspiration there. I haven't, but I'll look that up after the stream. Yeah, sounds interesting. Oh, dude, the skirt is working out so well. I have a Weeping Angel action figure, so I'm like, yes, this is it. This is it. I think there are 3 episodes, Mark says. How did everybody like the Daleks? The 5-part animation that came out as part of Time Lord Victorious. I enjoyed it very much. That was a fun one. Doctor Who food ideas. I mean, the Sixth Doctor liked a gumble jack, but that's not baking. That would just be an alien fish that you have to track down. Baking. Um, a Starry Night cake would actually be very, very cool. You know, when you can like get cakes with custom frostings on them and stuff. Like that would be a cool one to say like make this, but not like the actual Starry Night painting, but like how it's done in this episode. I think would be great. We're getting feathers on the wings. I had a TARDIS cake for my 15th birthday in 2012. I feel old now, Louise Wade says. Wait, so 2012, 15, that means, weren't we 15 in 2012 as well?
I have no idea.
90, we were born 97, so that would have been, yeah, 15. Cool, we're the same age. So yes, I also feel old. I enjoyed the Daleks. I waited every week to watch it. It had a fun story too. The Mechanoids, yes. Oh, we need to get monoids on this list. Mechanoids reminded me of that, as well as Mechanoids. But yeah, I mean, did we ever have a I think we had a TARDIS cake for
Yeah,
one birthday. We did, at least once,
At least once, I think probably more.
not twice. Yeah, yeah. I really want a Weeping Angel statue. Dr. Master says they look so stunning. I found a Weeping Angel cardboard cutout on eBay. So shall I put myself through the fear? Oh, possibly, possibly. I I I am not one to discourage anybody from buying Doctor Who stuff on eBay. Definitely would be a hypocrite. Oh my gosh, yeah. Weeping Angels, very scary monsters. Dr. Master, there should be a Hoop Bake Off. That'd be so funny. I have thought of it, Dr. Master. I have heavily considered it because I love Doctor Who and Bake Off. So yeah, I would love that series. It's a bit expensive with um, the you need the ingredients for baking, but also I would need somebody else to help film. So um, Earth Mama 23 says I just saw Cassandra lasagna that was hilarious. I once made a pancake bake. I thought I could put like pancake batter in a in a casserole dish for the oven, and it came out so rubbery for whatever reason. I must have done the batter wrong, and it looked like Cassandra. So I wonder. I think I sent the photo, Tony, to you.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna look through our chat because I want to show the people in the live stream this live the Cassandra pancake pancake. I can't speak. Let's see. Let's see.
5 minutes to
5 minutes to finish
finish coloring.
coloring. Oh my gosh. This is gonna be crazy. All right, I'm gonna have to go back in time though because we've sent quite a few pictures. Let's see. Let's see. Got some memes here. Got some pictures here. Tony's camera is better than mine, so I'll sometimes for like Instagram and products take pictures with his camera. So I've got and send them to myself. So I got to go through all of those. Oh my gosh, T minus 5 minutes. Will obviously take a couple minutes to enjoy the finished product, but it has been great seeing you all, hanging out. Thank you for being here. I am so glad that you guys all joined and stopped by. Let's see. I'm trying to find the Cassandra pancake before we run out of time.
Turns out we didn't even send it to each other.
That's the worry. Cassandra pancake. Where would I find that? Oh,
Sure you didn't make a post about it somewhere.
I think I may have tweeted about it. Oh, but I tweet so much.
Probably don't have Twitter.
I have almost 7,000 tweets. Oh my gosh. If not, I'll have to find it and share it on Twitter. So, oh my gosh. I can't believe I've tweeted 6,903 times. That's amazing. Oh my gosh. Okay, so not seeing it yet. I'm looking through 2020. I wish I remembered where that was. I wonder if I just posted about it on Facebook. If I find it there. Flip through 2021. Oh, I don't know how I'll be able to find it. Well, I'll be able to check in and see your design once it's fully colored in. I'm just gonna have a quick look on Facebook, see if I've ever posted it. Maybe on the Doctor Who Guide Facebook. Have I ever done that? I'll check my personal, yeah. We put a face on it and everything with Cassandra. All right, I'm getting a lot of thumbnails. Okay, that's another sort of food. Seems like the kind of thing I would make a post about. Because I remember finding it quite funny. Where is Cassandra? I have an orange that I made a weird face in like 7 years ago. Alright, I'm looking through my personal Facebook. Not seeing anything yet. It's the mysterious case of the missing Cassandra pancake. Oh, snap. Photos of you, maybe. Well, we will find it in another stream and share it. There are not tweets from you featuring the word pancake or Cassandra. Well, thanks for looking. Hey, Dad's in the chat. Hello. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, thank you for searching. I will keep looking for that. It is 5. How is the Cassandra coming? The Cassandra, the Weeping Angel. Almost done, I see. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, if you're following me on Twitter or Facebook, I will share it again once I find it. I bet, there's one more place I want to look real quick. Should be... Phone. It's a folder called... It's got phone in the title. There we go. Is this where it is? Is this where it is? Seems right. Come on, come on. Is this it? Is this it? I found it! I found it! Oh, well, this isn't a... Okay, this will have to do. This isn't a pancake, but this is a... Okay, so we had some leftover in the fridge that like got a layer of fat over it, and I carved the face of Cassandra into it, and I think you're now seeing it. Yep, there it is.
Layer effect.
Just yep. So that's not the pancake, but that is the picture there. Let's see what the chat is saying. Kevin Patterson says hello to my favorite sons. Oh, yay, I'm glad we're in the running. Yay, hello, Dad to who? Mark says that's great. Louise says you have some cool sons, and Dad says I think so too. Oh my gosh, Dad, we've got a pretty cool dad, let me tell you. I can't wait to see people's reactions to this. Let's see. And then we'll take a look, we'll check in on your artwork. But thank you so much for being here, Tony. Thank you for sharing your amazing drawing talents with us. This has been an absolute blast. A lot of fun. Hey, there's a Cassandra pancake. I found it. Sorry. We'll get back to it. I found the Cassandra pancake. I found it. There it is. That's not something for your nightmares. I don't know what is. We have two pictures of it, two angles. Look at that. Oh, I'm so glad I found this. Oh my gosh. There's even video of it. Oh my goodness. There's the I can't believe I made two leftovers into Cassandra pancakes. Look at that. Look at that. That's terrifying. All right. Let's see what the chat is saying. Delicious. I think I lost my appetite for dinner. Mama23 says. Dad says I'm glad we didn't eat that. Yep. All right. Well, thank you all so much for being here. This is the final product. This is absolutely awesome. I love this. Oh, here, I'll get this out of it. Look at that. There's this. We did the Chumbly. We did the Zygon. Then Davros. Then Agador. Then a Mavellan. And then a Weeping Angel. That was absolutely amazing. Thank you so much, Tony, for being here, for sharing your incredible art with us, and for speed drawing these incredible monsters and villains. It's been an absolute blast to have you. Thank you so much.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
And thank you all for being here. Thank you to John Fisher, Kevin Patterson, Sadie Slade, Earth Mama 23, Oh My Dinosaur. Thank you to Mark, as well as Nathan Human. Welcome. And hello, Louise. Thank you for being here, all of you. Dr. Master, to everybody who dropped by, Huvian, Espresso Extra, Casey, Rick, Alex, the other Alex. Thank you so much. Pear Crazy 123, Tardis Spider. It's been so great to have you all here. Thank you so much for spending this time with us. I hope that you have a great, wonderful rest of your weekend. Thank you for being here and for growing your knowledge collection and connection with other Doctor Who fans. And Albert the Adipose says hello, and we both hope to see you in the next video or live stream. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!